What is up, everyone? Long time no see. Sorry that I'm a little tiny bit late, but we have an issue here. So, hope everyone is having a great night. Um, have some new merch, as I talked previously. So, I'll be using my official merch from now on the live streams and on every event that I go to. I might prepare some of them to give away, either on feature videos that I'm going to release on YouTube, or either on. Let me just lower the music; it's fucking loud. Or um, on events, I might give them away. So, without further ado, let me just tell you guys what I've been up to. And why isn't this great? Okay, whatever, never mind. So I have been um, painting Sebastian Highway, which is a huge deal for me because I really like El Miniaturista paintings and the way he paints some stuff. And right now, here's Sebastian. Let me just switch for you guys to see it up close. So here's Sebastian for you. At the moment, I'm missing some highlights on the fur inside of the leather jacket, uh, but the rest of the jacket, I think it's pretty neat. Uh, Let me zoom in so you guys can see it better. Yeah. So yeah, um, this is the current status of the jacket. I might just change some stuff here, where we have like a black lining around, because I used the tenebrous gray to clean up some of the warm gray sketching that I was doing for the skulls and everything. So yeah, um, I might just go back to the stippling the um, with a mixture of tenebrous brown and leather brown, tenebrous, tenebrous, sorry, tenebrous gray and leather brown. Uh, Also, I'm going to be so hopefully today we'll finish the inner part of the leather jacket alongside with the finishing touches of the jacket itself, and then I want to start painting the armor. Now this is going to be a huge deal for me because will I love painting non-metallic metal, especially steel, but I have only done it so far on swords. So yeah, pretty much excited to start doing that, and also starting on the OSL for the main reflections regarding the lights, because I want to do like he's lighting up the cigarette, and like that it'll emit light from the lighter, and I want the light to be bouncing on the armor itself. So it's going to be pretty neat. I don't know yet if, and it only depends on how I'll finish the miniature, but I might do some retouches on the miniature, because I don't know if I'm going to be doing like if the source light it's only coming from the lighter, or if the source light is coming from another place. I don't know yet. I'm still, processing. So another thing that I did was I printed this splint. I Yeah, I got this splint online, and I 3D printed it. I'm going to be sketching some for me, so feel free to tune in, because I might in the future provide them if people need them, so you can 3D print them at home, which will be pretty neat. I did some super glue, sorry, some white glue here, so the filament, so the paint doesn't go into the recesses of the filament. And this way, it stays nice and flat, and it holds the paint really nicely. So, yeah, my main thing is to maybe put like a brass rod under the miniature and stick it like this, you know, and then paint the background. And maybe the background having some light can affect the way the miniature is positioned and the lights are being reflected there. But we will see. So let me put this aside. Also, another thing, I 3D printed William Wallace, which is awesome, right? So it's this tiny little fellow here. Really love this guy. Like, this dude is simply amazing. Really, really well done job. Sorry, I have a tiny hair here. So yeah, I couldn't resist it. A lot of people were painting it, and I want to try it out. This is a really special piece for me because I'm going to paint it with the patterns of my like my like the best cat that I have ever had. Unfortunately, he passed away last year, and as a tribute to him, I want to paint everything based on his colors, on his real colors. So it'll be a good challenge because he had like brown stripes, and he was like a, you know, a mixture of white with like a silver gray tone. That was his main color. But yeah, it'll be very challenging because white and silver, or gray, I mean, it's a little tricky to paint, so especially on fur. So we'll do that, and yeah, I just have to prime it. And now let's get on to the best part, right? Which is the painting. So guys, if you by any chance have any questions or something like that, feel free to drop them on the chat and I'll answer them. Also, a big shout out to the guy that designed this playlist that I'm playing, cause he's a god. Basically, it's Scott Buckley. I have on the description of my life. And it's really cool because it's really nice background music, an epic one, which I really love when I'm painting. I really love to listen to this type of music. So let's go. Okay. So basically this is it. Yeah, let me just grab the solution here because I don't quite remember what I was doing.
Thank you for following.
Prancer, thank you for the follow, bro. And welcome to the stream. Wow, where's the mixture? Oh, right. Right. Okay, so it's this one and this one. A mixture ratio of 1:1 on tenebrous gray and leather brown. Let me see if I can actually clean this without messing too much the paint job. Because the problem is the black, not the black, but the tenebrous gray that I used to clean up the skull, it kind of gives a nice shadow, but at the same time it's too harsh and gives too much contrast on the paint. It doesn't blend too well with the jacket, so I want to clean it up really nicely, and maybe let me just grab here the leather brown. Yeah, nice consistency here. And let me see if I can actually hide it. Because now the problem that I'm going to face is I need to do all this skin tone on the leather again on these little gaps, which will be quite a process. Because it won't be easy, since we already have that layer, or almost that layer, underneath. So it won't be quite equal. So what El Miniaturista liked to use here, he really liked to use Sigar Brown from Citadel. Since I don't have it, I tried the approach of Dark Flesh. Now, there is a catch on this new paints from AK, the Quick Gen. They are thick as fuck, which, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a really big fan of it because of the density. Like, it's super thick. Look at this shit. The way that the paint moves. Let me grab a synthetic brush here, just so I don't fuck it up my good brushes. But look how thick. It's like a jelly type of paint. It's weird, but it really flows really well. But the thing is, and the catch that I was talking about is, besides the jelly feel that you have on the paint when applying it, it actually leaves like a smooth surface that you really have to be careful about. Mainly because this smooth surface comes right off as soon as you scrap your finger on it with a little bit of water, or even the skin oils and everything. So it's really weird to work with this type of paint, the Quick Gens. I think they are good for a first instance, like when you do a priming and then applying it to, have the primary colors, and then already the recesses ready and everything. But I don't know, man. It's weird nonetheless. Let me see if by any chance this does the trick. It doesn't. Fucking hell. Yeah, it should have gone a little bit darker on the, I think. Let me. not quite convinced because the other patterns here, you can actually see that the other patterns are really like smooth out, while this one's around. So either I do give another layer to clean it up and maybe darken them, or I just give it a little bit more tenebrous. The fuck? Yo, this is a hard word. Tenebrous gray. Either make it darker. Let us see if it dries next to this one, just so I can catch a glimpse. In case you guys are wondering why I paint my hands a lot of the times, it's mainly because I keep like a record of the mixture that I did. So example, if I use like tenebrous gray and leather brown, a mixture of the two, and let's say I do a 2-to-1 ratio, right? Like 2 to tenebrous gray drops and 1 leather brown. I want to save that. So my hand palette is like a saved file in Mary's speech, so I have something to compare, because in case my paint dries or the solution, or I ended up spending all of it, I know how to guide myself with it. So yeah, that's what I like to do. That's why you always see my hands painted with various stripes all over my hand and my fingers, because it's me keeping track. Oh, I almost forgot the eyes. Because I have to do... Let me think. Like, if a transfer is on the skin, then the eyes will be showing... Yeah, exactly. The eyes should be showing the leather beneath it. So, yeah. Let's darken here a little bit. And we'll go with this brown instead of the full leather brown solution. And let's try here. Also, another good thing that I've learned in the past weeks, especially from guys like Flame Miniatures, or I don't know, other great awesome painters, it's, for example, Vincent Venturella, I think that's the name of him. What they all say is you can't be afraid of trying out stuff, and it's actually true. Oh yeah, this mixture is really good. I think that if I use now the dark flash, just grab a little bit. I'll just put it here without ruining the skull. As I was saying, you can't be like afraid of trying out stuff. And I've noticed in multiple forums and around the community, a lot of people are like afraid of trying out stuff. But you can't, believe me. In this, you have to embrace the errors. Okay, you see? The way that this one is way more blended with the rest than this one. So yeah, the problem was I jumped on into the highlights really fast with the leather brown. The leather brown is like the first highlight. I shouldn't done that, but hey, this is what's good about miniature painting, is like you can paint layers over layers and correct yourself over and over until you have the perfect result, right? What I'm gonna do is instead of doing like a massive layer job here on top of the area where I did use the leather brown, I'll just try to override with the correct color and see if it does the trick. Hopefully it will. Because I want to leave like a small, like tenebrous gray around the sketching. Because that will be like a cool shadow, right? And will almost look like it was tattooed or something like that. Because you know when these images have like a, how do you say it? Like the surrounding black line. That's what I'm going towards. Yeah, I think that's good. We're doing pretty good. We're cooking, boys. We're cooking. Am I on? Yeah, I'm on the camera. I've been away from the live streams for so long that I don't know if I'm on the correct frame. And yes, I know, I'm crazy because this is a hell of a job. In what comes to the work itself, because like you're stippling all this fucking huge area, and I know sometimes it's tedious, but the result it gives, it's amazing. This is one of my favorite texture methods. I can say methods, right? Yeah, sure I can. Around here, do here. Here we also have huge black lining. I was going all the way yesterday. Like fuck, I was really inspired. Um, hmm. I don't think I'm missing anything. Oh, actually, I'm missing here. Where's my mouth? Okay, so on to applying the dark flesh from AK QuickChan. Let's see if I can actually. Oh yeah, that's way better. Oh, another good tip that I can give you guys is when you're doing like really small lines and everything, um, and you have to like go around a section where you need to make it like, let's say you want to do like a really small line around the skull, right? What I like to do is, besides having my brush moist enough, which sometimes I forget, rookie mistake, but it happens, um, is I don't go right next to the edge right away. So what I like to do is I do this, and then let's say that I have to go all the way next to it, and I sort of get closer and closer and pushing a little bit the paint towards the area that I want to, you know, put the paint on. And as I'm getting closer and closer, I get to my objective. I think this way, at least for me, is way easier than doing just a really close line like this, where you can accidentally um, get, paint something that you shouldn't paint, like I did right here. I just did a small droplet right there. So yeah, this is one of the ways that I like to use when getting really close. I don't know, I prefer like control over speed because I'm not a very patient guy. So if I'm going too fast and I fuck it up, I'm gonna be so pissed and so bored to have to do it all over again. So I prefer taking longer and having more control over the brush strokes that I'm doing. Yeah, and like this and like that, you can see that we basically hided the black lining around the skull, which is awesome. Because I know it sounds tedious, but believe me, this type of cleanup really makes your life easier and makes all the details on the miniature pop out. Okay, this is not a miniature, but still, it helps. And I think that whatever you do, in spite of the size, can be applied on almost anything, right? So, whatever you practice on um, a bust, for example, like this one, a 70 millimeter. Is it 70 millimeter? Yeah, I think it is. So either on one of these or 32 or 28, I don't know. I've seen some people even going towards the 22 millimeters, which is insane. It's really, really small. But whatever you use, I think on either of them, especially on the big ones, I think it's easier to practice stuff on the big ones than practicing on the small ones. And it's not by chance that a lot of miniature painters that I like to teach use busts on their classes, because it's better for you guys to use where the heck did it go? The window. I had a window here and it disappeared. The fuck is going on? Where is it? I don't see it anymore. Never mind. I was just curious to see the stats of my stream, to see how it was going. But unfortunate. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. We're doing good. 12%. Yeah, that's nice. I just want to see if by any chance I have skipping stuff or not. Skipping frames and everything. Yeah. So, where was I saying? I don't know. Oh yeah, don't be amazed. Sometimes I use my hand as a palette to mix to mix paint or to mix a little bit of thinner on it. So yeah, don't be alarmed if you actually see me doing that. Also, another cool thing that I like to do is using these little paint cups from, tattoo artists. It's a really cool tool to be using because it's fucking easy to clean. It's really small, so it fits really nicely on your wet palette or whatever palette you use. And it's really easy to clean also, which is pretty insane considering. Because like back in the days, I used this metal platey thing, and they are the worst to clean, bro. Especially when they start getting these scratches and stuff. Like the paint really sets in. I don't know how many I have here that already have paint on it, which I can't remove in any ways. Oh, and another thing, they sometimes, after a while, they get rusty, like that. You see those small dots of rust? And this shit gets onto the paints. Now you're gonna ask, how the fuck do they go to the paints? Well, and listen to this, and I was amazed when I found out this, but a lot of companies use metal particles or small metal particles, and I'm not talking about the metal paints. They have like a component that it's based on metal that helps the pigment set in and etc etc. And the thing is, as soon as this rust gets to them, it starts fucking up the binding of the paint onto the surface. So it's pretty insane that using something like that, or using a rusty cup or something like that you have, something that it's old, can really damage your paint. And of course this is happening on fast, right? But I've seen a lot of people with issues regarding that matter. And they even took pictures, like the paint was lifting from the miniature. It was like it was, you know, those paints, when those blobs of paint comes out off from old walls and everything. It was fucking insane. And I have never seen that. I didn't even know it could it could happen. It's really, really weird. But yeah, it happens. A lot of paints and brands use tiny metal particles to help, even though they don't say it, but it's on the composition of the paints. I don't remember which brands use that. I think most of them don't use that at the moment, but hey, you never know. Especially metal paints. Like metal paints, you have to be really, really careful with them because of that issue. And another thing, and I don't remember which YouTuber said that, but you should be using what's the name of this shit? Fuck. Distilled water. That's right. I had to look it up because I only had a water coming to my head. So yeah, when using metal paints, you should use distilled water to mix and dilute the paint, or any kind of thinner instead of normal water, because normal water will help with the oxidation, which is pretty insane as well. And metal paints, well, they have particles, huge chunk and big particles, and yeah, they will fuck you up. They will really fuck you up. And you, my friend, will be pissed. Believe me. But I do have to make those experiments just to try it out, just to see how long something like that will be fucked, you know? Because if it passes like 10 years, and only after 10 years will the miniature become an aberration, well, I think after 10 years you will want to paint again and do another, painting job on it. So onto the miniature, I think I'm going to work on the highlights on the jacket. Yeah, I'll do that. Let me just grab a little bit of here, a little bit of that, doing this. Yeah, exactly. So I know that I have it sketched here, but I want to broaden the highlight. Fuck, I'm off camera. I want to broaden the shadow area so it becomes more like a transition, but with stippling, right? Oh, I'm completely forgetting the ends of the sleeves. I'm completely forgetting about it. I need to do the highlights on it. I thought about it yesterday, but I was too damn focused on the freehand of the skull. Oh, and also something is telling me that I should put some fucking varnish on top of this skull. Something is telling me I should do it. Maybe I'll do it off stream, just so I don't bore you guys with it. Because I don't want to ruin that paint job. And fixing stuff, it's a pain in the ass. Like, the process is so fucking dull. I don't know which miniature it happened to me, but a couple of months ago I was painting, and bro, I fucked up a tiny piece, a chunk that flew off because I was using this cotton heads, this small toothpick with small cottons on the end, and I like to use this when I put a little bit of paint and it's still wet. I just dip it on water, and then I use it to, you know, to just do it like this and clean up and remove a little bit of the paint that was just layered on. And the thing is, the tip was not with too much cotton, so the wood just chipped off a little bit of paint. Bro, the amount of layers that I had to add until I could clean that hole in the mirror speech. Oh my god, I wanted to kill myself right there because of that. But with a little bit of patience and layer upon layer, I ended up cleaning it. Oh, actually, I think I know which piece it was. I think it was Trajan Valoris. Was it? Was it Trajan Valoris? I don't know. I think it was. I think it was him that I was doing for a painting competition for my first one. Oh man, it was insane. And it was like I was almost at the end of completing the fucking face of the miniature. Yeah, and especially it was on the face. Insane. I was so pissed. With myself, of course. I was going to grab my... I have a small... How the fuck did that hair got into the miniature? Grab a little bit more of Tenebrous here. Making it more dense patch. Oh, another thing that I was going to talk about on stream. It came to my attention that a lot of people have been using the back of the brush, you know, to mix stuff, and then they try to collect the paint that it's still on the back of the brush, just so they don't, you know, use the brush bristles to mix. I think that's a good solution, but, and according to Tommy Soul, it's all about how you use the brush, right? Because if you're doing like motions like this, you know, like half moon circles like this, you are not forcing the bristles and you're going towards where your hand is. So it is like you're doing some paint job, but onto the wet palette, right? But this type of motion, like this one, this is what fucks up the brushes, right? Because you're going towards like the top part of the circle, in the circular motion, and you're pushing the bristles on this side. So you're fucking up. When doing this, it's okay. When doing this to mix, it's okay. But when doing this, you are fucking up the bristles. So you just have to stop and doing this. This is what I normally use and do. Sometimes I just go brain dead and my, how do you say it? my memory muscle just kicks in, and then I started fucking up the bristles. But yeah, this is the way he teaches us to start mixing, because you can mix like this, like you push the paint and then you mix like this, but you just have to do like small half moons, and like this you have a perfectly nice blend and you don't fuck it up the bristles. Other thing that I see a lot of people doing is going like this. You can mix like this, and as long as you're not going forcing the bristles on this side, like towards that part, because it will create friction and it will fuck up the ends of the bristle. As long as you're not putting pressure on them, it's okay. I think. Don't put my money on it. But still, coming from Tommy Soul, really, believe me, it's a good plan. Coming from him. Because that guy, he knows what he's talking about. And I hope I can go to Ireland. I don't know what the fuck that I just said. Wait. Is he from the UK? Or yeah, he's an English miniature painter. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? He's not British. I think he's on Ireland. Is it? I don't know. Can't find it. But I think he's. Oh no! He's Scottish. Fuck. Never mind. It doesn't have to do one thing with the other. Yeah, he's British, and he's from Scotland, so he has that accent. Yeah, because I just remember that he sometimes he says like myself and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, he's Scottish, and if he says that you can actually do that, believe me, you can. And I hope I can go to Scotland one day and have a couple of lessons with him, because I heard like shit ton of good stuff from him. And I even bought his book, the Art of series. I only bought his book, but I know the others are just how do you say it? Like a library of paints to show the other painters, the jobs from other painters, and him. I think it's the only book from the Art of that actually teaches you stuff. I don't know about the others because I haven't read them. But yeah, the one from Tommy Soul, I bought it, and it's fucking amazing. Like the the level of stuff that he brings to the table to make you think, it's fucking insane. Pransa, I think you are listening, so let me show you something that he teaches on the books. That it's actually fucking insane, but we don't think about it. And some people do it unconsciously. So look at this shit. Normally, what people do is they grab a little bit of paint, they put it here, right? And then they go grab a little bit of water and they put it here. And they kind of struggle a little bit on the consistency. Now, some people have, according to their experience, they already know by eye what is a good consistency. For example, for me, this is a good consistency, but it's going to dry really fast because you can see that the paint, it's almost drying. So I know this type of consistency needs a little bit of more thinner, but not too much, but a little bit more. So I know now that this type of consistency is going to be watery. So what I do is I add a little bit of paint, a little bit more paint, and then I now have a good base coat, but it's on the semi-transparent side. So, and I like to do them like this, but sometimes when I'm on a rush, I just add a little bit more paint, and then here you have it, right? Good consistency, almost good consistency, and you can say like a glaze consistency, right? Now, here comes the teaching from Tommy Soul. So look at this shit. If you come from your water pot, right, and let's say you have already water, like I did, I just scoop it off a little bit of the excess water that I'd had, but I have like water here, right? So my brush has water, as you can see. So what he defends is, if you have water on your bristles already, you can grab a blob of paint, and as soon as you put it on your wet palette, the water that you have it on your bristles mixed with this blob of paint, it's almost, well, it's basically on the base coat consistency, as you can see. Fucking instant. So if you're looking for a base coat consistency, dropping the paintbrush on your cleaning it, and grabbing a little bit of water, grabbing the paint, putting on the wet palette, you already have almost like 100% base coat. But let's say you want to go towards the glaze. So what he does is he starts like scraping like this, and as you can see, the paint is going to be thinned. Do you see now? The paint is thinned, right? Let me zoom in. Fuck. Like the paint is getting thinner. So what this means is, when I was dragging, now that I noticed that the paint is thin, it means that the paint that it's on the brush, it's already thin, because we scrapped, the pigments off the brush. So now if I try to paint, look, the same consistency as the first one that I did. You see the difference? So it's fucking automatic and almost like brain dead, in a matter of speech, right? So Tommy Soul actually teaches you this kind of stuff on his book, and it makes your life so much fucking easier. It's fucking insane. The thing is, I normally don't use it, but I'm trying to correct my stuff piece by piece. I'm trying to correct it. And he doesn't talk about this only on the book. He also talks about it on podcasts, like the one he does with Siege Studios, for example, and another couple of big guys that he does uh, podcasts with. I was thinking about that word. So yeah, and I need to start doing this type of stuff because doing this type of thing, I can now, like, for example, if I want this consistency, I just come here, and now I know I have a consistency of uh, glazing stuff. And if I want to have the consistency of base coat, I just go towards the top area where I had it. So yeah, it's pretty insane. Like, the stuff he teaches you, it's fucking off the charts, believe me. It's fucking insane. Totally loved his book, I mean. And yeah, it's crazy. And little by little, I'm going to start teaching this type of stuff in a more detailed way and helping you guys on other things that I've found out towards these months. Because yeah, don't forget that I only paint for 10 months. I haven't painted anything in my life prior to now. Oh shit. So yeah. Oh, let me just. Okay, nice. So yeah, guys, that is one of the suggestions that I do and that I give from others. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to concentrate these teachings onto one place. Because sometimes it's fucked up when you're trying to grasp those teachings. And it's fucking difficult, to go across all the YouTubers and going across all the patrons. And I have done it. I'm not gonna lie, I have done it. But I don't want to people start bouncing on from house to house. I want to build like a place where the community can all share in one fucking spot. So yeah. And hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully I'll provide you guys with that. Oh shit, it's not this one. Let me just grab a little bit of the dark flesh. Hmm. Three drops, I think it's enough for what I need. Oh, another thing, guys. The power of washing, it's fucking insane. And I think a lot of people underrate the power they can have with washes. Cause like, when you have a color, and let's say you wanna paint that color, that's a good way of using the washes, right? Don't mind the earthquake. It's not a real earthquake. It's just my vortex mixer, just fucking up my my camera. But yeah, why do I have always these? Like, sorry to interrupt what I was saying, but fuck the bottles from AK get fucked up every time with this new paints. Actually, this one didn't. Let's see if another one did. Or was it just me? Maybe it was just me. Oh, see? Like every time that some paint is on the cap, it starts building up right there, and it's fucking hard to take it out. There should be a bottle cap cleaner that made all our lives easier, right? You could just pick up the bottle cap and just like a vortex mixer, but just the cleaning caps. That would be actually cool. So let me just put some 2 drops of medium from QuickGen. This is actually a really good medium, but I only use it on the, well, it's supposed to be only used on the QuickGen, but still. Because like I had Tenebrous Gray here that I stippled all the way onto the areas that I want to highlight it. But the thing is, as soon as I used, as soon as I used the QuickGen, let's call it the wash, on top of it, I taint that paint, that Tenebrous Gray that I was using. And it actually makes wonders, because it really helps the paint to gain a color that it's more on the theme, and it's more on the hue, let's say it like that. It's more on the hue of your miniature. I'm still not pretty much convinced, but I think that since I have the Tenebrous Gray, I might use like Tenebrous Gray with a little bit of Warm Gray, and using this to create maybe the highlights on, maybe I need more. I think like this is better. Oh yeah. Actually, this part is all onto the highlights, right? Yeah, of course it is. Also, this part could be going onto the highlight. This part as well. Okay. Well, let me get a little bit more. What time is it? Hmm. Just get the access off, and I want it to be like more into this and not so close to the edge. Yeah, exactly. This, I think like this is better. I hate it when the tip starts to dry. It's fucking frustrating. Not gonna lie. Oh, another thing that I found out, which is actually insane, because normally I wouldn't do it, but it actually makes total sense. So, for example, when we're looking at shapes like this one, this normally goes on the shadow, right? Because if we look like this part gets highlighted, but this part is actually on the shadow, according to the light that it's coming from above, right? But the thing is, as you can see, this part is being highlighted right here. And it's not because I put the paint on. So what I mean is, in spite you having like a wave, normally what you do is on the top of the wave is where you put the highlight, right? So here it will be like this part because you have the wave here, And then since this is a, can I say concave? I like to just come up with words, but let me see if I can actually. Yeah, it's a concave, actually. Nice. Didn't. So, yeah. So, since you have the concave here, normally, unless it's on right next, so, for example, uh, uh, here. Here is the shadow from the wave, right? You have like a wave here, and then you have a concave area right here, and then you have another huge wave of the cloth. So here is where the shadow is, but light still strikes this area. So this area is a less highlighted zone regarding this one, because it's a little bit more, higher, right? But it's still not a shadow area. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. I have been reading Figopedia. It's the name of the book. It's a book from Figopedia, I mean, not pedia, it's pedia. Figopedia, like figo, fig from figure, and pedia from pedia. It's by Jeremy Bonamant. It's actually a light and color theory and practice book. It's fucking insane, bro. It's fucking insane. It's really, really good. And I've been learning a lot regarding that. Sorry, just something that came to my eye. So yeah, it's a pretty good advice, because sometimes what I feel is, I feel that I don't position very well some highlights a lot of the times, especially on cloth or leather or something like this. When the wave motion is present, I tend to fuck it up really, really fast. So for example, if I was to paint here Mephiston, I would straight up fuck this. Like, you see those waves on the garments, like this, the capes and everything that he has. Even on the, I don't know if you can actually see it on the miniature. Oh yeah. You can actually see on here. So, for example, do you see this part? Yeah. So, you have, actually this isn't, oh, okay, here. Do you see this part here where I'm painting? This area actually is all red, but with the mid-tone, right? So the mid-tone is where it's standing between this, but only on the correct fold is where the shadow is, but the shadow stops. It's not all the way through. So in practice, what they are saying or showing us is, where is it? Yeah, here. So do you see this concave right here? So this concave that I just painted, let me just put some water, because I think with the water is better for us to understand and see. So here on this concave here, where I'm putting the drops of water, that concave, you don't stretch it out all the way, right? You just put the shadow right here and then you stop, and all this part, all these major parts here and here, you will have the midtone. Here you'll put the highlight, and here you'll be putting the maximum highlight right above, as well as on this edge, and on this edge, and on this edge. Right here you'll have the main highlight, but this part is shadow, but here it's still mid-tone, right? I think you guys get it. But yeah, it's insane. It's insane the level of knowledge these dudes have. It's actually pretty crazy. But it's fun to learn. At least for me it is. I really, really love to learn this type of stuff. Because it helps me really, really a lot to understand some types of concepts. Because it's not easy, man. Like painting in general, the amount of concept and practice sometimes you need around a certain aspect of the painting, it's fucking insane, bro. Like, this is shadow area, so I shouldn't touch it. I shouldn't highlight it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I will go higher on the highlight just yet, or if I should wash it. There I was doing my circles, bucking up my bristles. Higher. I need to go higher on the highlight. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So now, or should, no, let's do it like this. Wait. Maybe I fucked it up. Wait. Yeah, this was the other color that I was using just minutes ago, I think. Let me check. It's not. I'm out of tenebrous gray. Fuck. I think it was this one, right? Yeah, it is this one. So, I should probably do a wash of this, just so I can blend. Exactly. Maybe a little bit more washed here towards the end. Oh yeah, because I want to like smooth out stuff right here. I want to smooth out towards what I was doing. Actually, you know what? I think this is darker than what I was using. Oh yeah, it's much darker. It's this one. Fuck. Okay, better. So I want to wash it out and pull the pigments towards where the main sources of light are. And this is only to blend in a little bit the stuff that I applied, just so I can go towards the next tone. This is a technique that it's been used for a long time, but a lot of painters don't use it. They like to do it on other ways, but I like to do it. I follow the teachings of Jose da Vinci. He actually teaches us this. He likes to like add texture to something. Also, Sergio Calvo also does this. They like to like create texture with stippling or stripping and stripling. Sorry, not stripping. Stripling, and then they like to use like a really thin layer of that color that you just apply just to blend in and make things a little bit more smooth. By using that previous layer and dragging the pigments towards the main source of light area that you have right there. So yeah, it's actually pretty nice because it leaves like a really smooth surface. But here I'm going towards a mixture of both techniques, so I'm diluting a little bit more of the paint so it's more transparent, so the effect it's not as noticeable. It's not so abrupt, so it will leave the stippling, but it will bind the stipples just a tiny bit, like this. You see, you can see the stippling, but you can also see that it's blended. Just a tiny portion of it. I'm sorry, but I just pinpointed a fucking mistake. Right there. I let some tenuous gray just infiltrate there. It was fucking my eye. Sight. It was really bugging me. So yeah. Let us continue. Oh right, wasn't this one. This one is the highlight. The new one. So what I'm gonna do now is add a little bit of this, because it's really close, you see. So this is going to be my new highlight, which I think it's ready for what we are going to do. And now I'm just going to stipple on the main areas. Where the light is higher. And what I like to do is when I finish that part, I just do some tiny dots just to help, you know, the viewer, just to like trick our eyes that the light it's fading away. It's actually a good trick. Because painting, one thing that I came into the conclusion is painting not only is an art, it's a way to deceive people. In a matter of speech. Because like you want to in a certain way, you want to trick the eyesight of someone into believing that something is not. Meaning, for example, we are painting this, right? But there is no light hitting the... I could just put some base coats on it and it would be painted, right? But the thing is, if you try to highlight it on certain ways and everything, you're going to trick the eye as if light was hitting on it. For example, this is a good way to trick the eye. Like, this is a guide from AK that comes from their non-metallic gold set. And fucking hell, bro, look at that detail job. It's insane, right? The way that the reflections were painted, this is all painted. But there are no reflections. It's not a metallic paint. It was a non-metallic job done in a way that it tricks your eye as if a reflection was being done there by the light and by the materials of the helmet, right? Yeah, I think like this is giving a really nice vibe. Really, really nice vibe. Let me just grab a little bit of water, guys. Really fast. I have it right here, next to my chair. It's just because it's dry as fuck, bro. Like, what's the temperature here? So we're like 40. We're like, what? What did I just say? So it's 28 degrees inside my room. And we are at 40% of moisture, which is really low. This is why my paint is drying up fast as fuck. So yeah. Oh, another thing that I forgot to tell you guys. I'm going to be printing Carlos miniatures. Like the glasses bust. Is it that way that they say it? I don't know. You know those teaching busts like this one? Yeah. He released them. I already have them, and I'm going to be printing them. And hopefully, when he delivers his tutorial, I'll be doing it on lives, and I'll be doing it on off stream. So now that we washed and we already have the first layer on the jacket. I think the ones around. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot about the bottom part. I forgot about the highlights on the bottom part. Yeah. Oh yeah. Way better. Because I did it on the sides, but I completely forgot this bottom part. Yeah. Maybe on here on the tip. Just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. And on to what I was saying. So we're going on to, we wash it with tiger brown, and then we are going to do little dots with AK cork, which is, it's not quark, it's cork. Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to do some stippling once again. Oh shit. Let me see. How the fuck did he highlight it? The back. Ooh. Okay. Okay. The details on the wrinkles. Oh, right. He stippled. Okay. He actually stipples this. Fuck. The paint is not diluted enough. It's not flowing too much from the brush. And of course I have some dry pigment there. So let's just try into the stippling. Just with the tiny hairs on my over brush. Like that. Just tiny ones going towards there. And maybe doing here. I think here would be a good one also. Maybe here also something as well. We also have on this side, and I think here would be awesome too. Maybe beneath here as a bouncing light. Like that. And I wanna, like, in my head it makes sense putting here. Maybe. In my head it makes sense putting here, because this will be like a main source of light here, heating. Yeah, exactly. Also, what more? Oh, he actually goes. Oh, right. Let me put some stuff here. It's going towards there, and maybe one here, because I like this small bump here, and it can be lighter right there. I'm gonna put something here as well. I think it makes sense. Yeah, like that. Some tiny ones like here, maybe. Stuff like this. Oh shit. That was too much pressure. It's putting some dots right there, like that. Because I want the elbows to be like really worn off. I liked it. I liked it very much. What was I doing after? Maybe just let me just reduce a little bit this one's. I like a transition here. Okay, like that, like that. Yep. I want to remove that orangey part from the cork, so I'm adding the dark flesh tone just to taint it a little bit on the brownish side, but still having it as a good and nice detail, but it'll make it more brown. You see, it's making it more brown already. Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a really cool Tony vibe. And now, one thing that I notice is El Miniaturista likes to give some scratches onto the leathers just to make like some wrinkles. I think it's wrinkles. Yeah, some wrinkles. So leather brown. Let us do that. A little bit of leather brown and then warm gray. I think like this is enough. think we need much more. Let me just test it out. Oh, it's too browny. I need more warm gray. Actually, let me just shake the bottle. Let me dilute this a little bit. And maybe... Oh yeah, this is the tone. Okay, so... some tiny scratches like this. Like it's wrinkles or stuff like that. I don't want to go too overboard with it, but still. The way that I find to not go too overboard with it is actually thinning down. If I thin it down, it will be more transparent as well. So let's see how that goes. Keep having a dry tip. Okay. So we have a wrinkle here as well. Yeah, like that. Where more can I add? Wrinkles here, a little bit here, a little bit there. A little bit like there. Yeah. I don't want to put too much because it will then be too overboard. Fucking hell. Now I've ruined it. I just said that, and now I've ruined it. What the fuck? Let me just clean it really nicely. Hopefully. Okay, nice. I cleaned it. I have cleaned it. Okay. Now we have a nice and smooth wrinkles there and some here as well. So like this, it will feel more like a wrinkled thingy. Because it helps to set the recesses of the waves, actually. But I still need to go a little bit higher, I think, on the jacket. Don't you guys think that? Or do you think this is enough? Maybe this is enough. Because I don't want to go higher on the highlights on the back. So we'll leave it at that. So yeah, guys, I think that is it. We cleaned the back. We highlighted the rims of the jacket, and we also highlighted the wrinkles. And yeah, I think we are almost good to go. The only thing that it's missing missing right now is I think I could give just one tiny highlight on the edge, and then I have to go high on the highlights on the fur. I think that's the only thing that it's missing. So yeah, I'm gonna take care of that in a couple of minutes off camera, because the live stream is ending, and I'm still going to do some stuff before that, but I'll keep you guys posted on my Instagram. I'll show you the progression, and hopefully next week you will see the armor, hopefully. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for everyone that watched the stream. Thank you once again, Pranza, for the follow. Really appreciate it, bro. And yeah, guys, the stream is off. And I see you next week. Yeah, I'll see you next week. And I'll keep you guys posted. See you. Have a nice weekend. And you know the drill. Keep adding those paints, those layers, I mean. Keep adding them layer by layer. Be patient. And I guarantee you awesome results. So yeah, guys, thank you a lot. See you next week.